It's been a great year for us, actually. We're over 800,000 customers, which from a year ago at over about 500,000, with terrific growth, over 500 employees. I think probably that's a huge win for us. I mean, we're breaking through.
So it's become more and more viable and more successful, to the point where in 2011 we doubled our customer base. So that equals more growth than we had in the prior 6 years.
The biggest win for us was we cracked the government, top-end corporate and government market, which is quite lucrative and has traditionally been the domain of the larger legacy telcos.
2011 was a huge year for Pacific Fibre. Our focus last year was really on securing anchor tenants to get the project off the ground. And we closed out 2011 with 4 key anchor tenants on board, $170 million US worth of sales.
2011 was about collaborating, and that was our main theme for the year and for future growth. We set up formal collaboration with the NZI3 and Christchurch University, and also Welltech in Wellington.
We had an in-house development team that we created over the past 10 years. Everything we design and build, we make real time, all controlled internally. We've just outsourced that software team into a completely separate company.
Something went off in the brain and went, well, there are a lot more people that can't get anything. How can we reach them? How can we make this a viable business?
We raised another $100 million to build more network, to build out more towers. As most people know, where we don't have our 500 towers, we roam on someone else's networks.
We've been working towards collaborating with the agricultural sector in terms of, okay, how can we make things easier to enhance their businesses and improve our productivity in this country.
We wanted to ensure that we had an anchor tenant that's very strong in New Zealand, and we secured Vodafone. All of this was really enabled from our first customer we secured, which was Rianne's. So to have them on board really was the anchor that all then the other customers kind of gravitated towards.
We started off, you had a fence post with a piece of galv pipe with an antenna on it, and over the years we've gone, okay, well that's not as good as it could be, it's hard to service. Tried to keep it practical and cost effective, but always thinking about how we could do it better.
Everybody's looking at the technology now, so we put a bit of time and effort into that. Formed new strategic partnerships with some of our peers around the industry to do bundled services.
We raised another $100 million to really expand. It says that we're doing well, that the progress is good, that the market looks positive.
North Power had their fibre network, which we had access to already, but actually gaining access to those enhanced products, 100 meg a second across town. Some of the things which previously might have cost us 20 grand in capital are now costing us $700 a month, and we don't have to maintain any infrastructure.
They've all got to catch up to what we can do today. So we could, on the one hand, afford to sort of take a break, but on the other hand, we want to push home the advantages.
There's strong demand for another cable serving Australia and New Zealand to the US. So, that was the huge highlight. A lot of focus went into that, and we pulled it off.